Me, I am a memoir. I said a memoir. We're going deep. We're going down to deep into the regular verse. Oh yeah, the regular verse.
Hello, Emily, and welcome back. I'm sorry. You heard the singing. You know we're still here. You can't complain because you sat through the intro. So, and do you know why? Because you're brave.
Oh,
and we know what that's like.
We do know what that's like because we're almost at the end of the album.
And the end of our rope, as it turns out.
I'm telling you, listening to this album, I almost bought some rope from Bunnings.
But nothing's as bad as Dear Ben. So
no, that's true.
That's
we haven't
helpful.
gone to Dear Ben Land.
Ben Land sounds awful, by the way. All right, so let's just do it. Let's smash through Ben Land. Oh God, we'll break it on. What is it? Low down, down low. Great.
I don't even care anymore.
No.
Getting the low down. All right, we're on to the technically final track of this album. That's not a ludicrous tinted version of an earlier track.
Yes.
We're up to the title track. It closes with the title track, which is Brave, written by Christian Carlson, which you might know as one of the authors of Toxic.
Yes.
Pontus Winberg, Lewis Muhammad, Smith and Nelson, produced by Bloodshy and Avant.
That's why,
and The
yeah.
Clutch and Corey
Rooney. It's almost a joke at this point.
It is a joke.
I don't trust Bloodshine Avant, who were really great, so I'm going to do it myself.
Yeah, I know. Now, this song was not a single, but they did kind of plan for it to be a single.
Yeah.
And made a video for it.
Yeah.
But the video was never released and then leaked at some point on, I think, Reddit, and then just sort of bled out into the rest of the world. But years and years after the album, like it was not contemporary. Like this is a video that was discovered and is certainly not available on Jennifer Lopez's actual YouTube page.
Okay.
But it exists out in the world. So I've seen it, which means...
I nearly called it a poshnopsis. That's me. A fabnopsis. It's a secret. A fabnopsis.
It is a secret. Jen is singing along to something, tapping her fingers on the table. A cappella. It's a very bold choice.
Just trying to find a key.
Oh, the finger tapping. I think she thinks she's playing the piano. Oh, no. She's trying to do the reflection scene from Glitter.
The difference is she can act, but she can't sing. So she's, oh no.
She can do one of the things. Then she sings into the mirror, and the song actually starts. And then she looks over at her landline that she's taken off the hook. Like, people still use landlines. Like, why is it even plugged in? It's on the bed, undone. Like, you've got a mobile up. She doesn't mime to all the singing when she's looking in the mirror. So I'm wondering if maybe she didn't sing that bit. She doesn't remember how it goes. I don't remember singing this. I'll stop now. She's also halfway through what looks like a vodka on ice. Her blankets start fluffing themselves up. Oh, my God. Is she in the afterglow having just been rooted by a ghost? Like, what is going on here?
I love that you pulled out more of the video than anything.
She finally gets around to singing the title in the mirror, and her reedy voice and panicked look in her eyes say she's anything but brave. There's steam. Unless her ghost booty call is a steam ghost. Oh, my God.
What does that mean?
Her tap is dripping, but I don't think she's noticed because she's fully obsessed with looking herself in the mirror. She does, however, hear her ghost fiddling with a towel. Why does the ghost need the towel? Oh, to wipe off its dirty ghost stick. Spooky. Spooky coat hangers. I don't know why.
Something it gives me very unfinished video, to be honest.
The TV comes on, but there's nothing on, just static. It's not even an infomercial. Like, where does she live? The 60s? She's got a landline. She's got a TV that gets static. That's got no channels on it. What?
Channel 31.
There's a lot of looking in the mirror, like lots, and like she's got nothing else going on. So I'm just gonna sit here and look at myself all the time in the world to do some hardcore mirror looking.
Yes.
And maybe put on some mascara. I've been looking at myself so long I've realised I'm not wearing mascara. Put on some mascara.
What's different? What is different today? I can't pick it.
And then she's looking at a photo, and then there's a hand on the shoulder. The ghost is real. The ghost. Oh no, there's no one there.
Wow. That's a ghost. That's true.
It's definitely
That's
a ghost.
how they work. I've been watching Unsolved Mysteries. I know.
Or it's just a hand with no body. Like this.
It's Thing.
Yeah. Thing, or it's something.
She got fingered in the bed. Yeah.
That's something that Mira Sorvino left over from the butcher. And then, there's a photo of a nonna. Bless. Jen looks into the mirror one more time and says that she's brave, but she looks sad. And then there's R.I.P. for Grandma Julia, who's gone to visit Brat's grandma in the hereafter.
Oh, they're having
She
fun.
was 94. Good innings, Grandma Julia. Good innings.
Do you know the Minogue's grandmother
brave.
is still alive at 104 or something like that?
104 Minogue.
103, 104, something like that.
Get out.
Uh-huh.
Oh, my God.
I know. Amazing.
How do you feel about Brave, the ironically titled song? 'Cause
I think what I appreciate about it is she's not going out of her comfort zone for it. Like, this completely fits vocally where she should be. I think Bloodshine Avant have probably created the best production on this song. Like, It didn't feel cheap. It didn't feel tinny. Again, it's not the best version of this kind of song, but I feel like this is the perfect song that would come up at the end of one of her empowering movies where she's like, I'm a woman who has to start again. And then this song would come on.
Did she do a movie called Brave? I feel like.
Probably. Why not?
It feels like I was a battered wife movie.
Totally.
Oh, no, that was enough.
Enough, yeah. But yeah, so, and I have it on in the background, and it's kind of cute.
See, I don't know if I was just
like
worn
it?
down by the whole album. I just thought this was a piece of shit.
Really?
Like, I felt like there was a decent song in there somewhere, but her choices to be breathy and to belt are, as always, taken in the oddest moments. Like, it's like you're belting this and then you're going to go, brave, with that. Like, it's just like, I feel like brave is a lyric that needs to be stated. Like, it's a lyric that's like, I'm brave.
But yeah, I suppose if I specifically think about the lyric, that does make sense.
Brave.
But see, I kind of...
She sounds terrified when she's singing brave. Like, yeah, if I can reach this note, brave.
Maybe because I'm being so brave just having a recording career. I think I took it... I don't know. Maybe I can't remember what I was thinking when I first listened, but I think it was almost like, I don't know. It's not defiant. I'm going to be brave. No. It's more just like, I don't know. Maybe someone who's a bit scared, but I'm going to be brave anyway. I'm going to be brave. Yeah. I'm a bit scared, but I'm going to do it. So I don't know. It didn't. Yeah, that's so funny, isn't it? How we interpret things.
I know
the same thing so differently.
I also think she's being outshone by a number of background vocalists who think it's their time to shine. Like, they're all being much braver than she is in the vocal stakes.
Brave.
It's seriously like the background vocals are great.
I don't know. I like the whole thing. I don't know. It's so funny.
Maybe also because I hated the video so much and it was creepy,
possibly,
and weird. But yeah, I did not enjoy this. So I'm real. What percentage do you think she's saying?
Sort of mid to high low, 75.
Yeah, I think it's very mid. Especially, like, I honestly think she's like the weird breathiness in some parts, the belting in others, even though they're at the wrong spots. I'm like, well, that's very Jen. But she is kind of drowned out by a lot of background vocals. So yeah, definitely mid. And do you think we've gone for a Sadegular or Jamiroquai vibe?
Maybe a bit more Sadegular.
Yeah.
Jamiroquai
It feels
Regular.
because it's a kind of a slowy one.
Yeah, that's the only reason that I think that.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I did not love Brave.
That's so funny.
I was frightened
See,
of it.
you're a full no.
A full no.
See, and I'm a full
no
pro,
no.
which
You're
I've
a
not
full
really
pro.
been. I've not really had many
And
prolos.
never about a
Definite.
ballad.
No.
Like,
Interesting.
yeah.
Obviously, I needed this message at the time.
I do agree, though. I think the production is great. I think it's
Yeah.
a really, like I said, I think it's a decent song. It's just, I just think, you know what? I think it's just her. I think she's made some really bad choices.
Sure.
Vocally,
And see, I think the rest of this
upset
album's
me.
so aggressive that this is nice. I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, again, maybe it's that thing of like if Kelly Clarkson had gotten a hold of this, can you imagine?
Yeah.
Like, can you imagine Kelly just belting out that Brave? Like, no, I am brave.
You better believe it.
Like, fuck, I believed she was sober.
For 3 whole months.
3 months she was sober. It was a big sober. I did watch, again, because when I watch these J-Lo videos, I get suggested other things. And I'm like, I need a break now. I watched Kelly's first audition for American Idol where she went and sat in Randy's chair and just took over the whole show. And I'm like, I love you.
I've just been watching all of her interviews for her new album this week.
How is the new album? Are you loving it?
I am. It's interesting because they release it, like they release like one song a week until they release maybe half of it, and then they release the whole album, which was really interesting in that it gave you a minute with each song.
Yeah.
But it was also a weird experience when then you listen to the whole thing because you're like, oh, but I already know this one. And lyrically, it's very interesting. Like
this is the Deadbeat Dad song, isn't it? Like Deadbeat Dad album.
But she doesn't go as hard as you'd think sonically. Like it's not quite like a Jagged Little Pill. There's elements of it. But I enjoy when she goes real shady. But I think you listen to her voice and you're just like, holy crap! Like it's the best it's ever been. Like, and she's had a pretty great voice the whole time. So it's just really interesting that for some people, you know, their voice ages and matures, and some people lose it. It's just like
it's a muscle. Like, things happen to it beyond your control. But yeah, I mean, we talked about how incredible her version of Whitney Houston was. It was a whole thing.
Oh my God.
Anyway, we should stop talking about good singers because we're heading back into we're heading into a bonus track now from the Brave album. Again, this one is very minimal stuff. It's called Frozen Moments. It's Bell and Kirsch, who have done most of the shit songs that we hated.
So why ruin a good thing?
Kirsch, Bell and Rooney on production. How did you feel about Frozen Moments?
This felt, ironically given the name, it felt the most like they were trying to capture the sound of the time and it just didn't work.
Yes.
They're like, we're trying to be so 2007. You know, I said it's fine. It has the same meh production as everything else. You know, if it was on the album, okay. But also I'm not missing anything. Whatever.
I was like, it's another slow jam. With even more swampy production. Like swampy. Like it sounds muddy.
The whole thing.
And somehow, like many of the up-tempo songs on the album, she's occasionally behind the beat and it's infuriating. Like, it's a slow one, love. What are you doing? Like, how are you not keeping up with the slow ones?
Maybe they hadn't decided what it was yet. Let's sing something and we'll put stuff around it.
By the way, I say that, you know, she's behind the beat when she's singing. I don't think it's entirely her on the chorus, to be honest.
Really?
I don't
remember this one that much, to be honest.
I don't think Corey Rooney trusts her and he gets people to come and sing over her.
Maybe.
And again, the song goes nowhere. There's some annoying strings, electronic orchestration, and she moans occasionally. Like it's a nothing song. It's like there's so much nothing on this album. A bonus nothing is not helping. Like
it's bonus nothing.
Yeah. So what do you think she's saying in the I'm Real stakes?
Probably the same. Mid-low.
Yeah, we've got mid-low. And are we Shadegular, Jamiroquai, or
don't
I guess
remember
this is
your
our last,
I don't remember
our last chance because we're getting out of this album now. Yeah, I think it's just regular, just
We've still got
bog
2 more songs.
standard. No, but like those songs aren't from her Sade or Jamiroquai.
Right. Yeah.
Regular.
I don't know.
I don't think it's either. I think sometimes she's had a crack at both, and this one I don't think she's tried to do either. This is nothing. And are you pro low or no low? On
I think I have to be no low because I don't remember it.
It's not very good. I'm no low. All right, we're going to leave the album now and head into 2009 and a song that was meant to be from her next album, but never turned up there. It's Louboutins, which is written by the Traitors, Terrius the Dream Nash and Tricky Stewart.
Traitors.
Produced by Tricky Stewart, Terrius the Dream Nash, and Cut Carroll, who we know produced the entire Memoirs of an Imperfect Angel album for Mariah.
Around the same time.
Yeah, around the same time. Oof. I think The Dream also did Single Ladies. Like I think like The Dream was on everything. Which is maybe why we hate all the songs from that time. So she did premiere Louboutins at the American Music Awards and famously fell on her ass during the performance. And
I mean, if you're going to fall on anyone's ass, it'd be J-Lo's. Like, if you have to.
Yeah. So this is something that makes me go, oh, she's a proper diva. So it was edited out of the feed that went to the East Coast. And I think that was her demanding it. And unfortunately, I think that had the Streisand effect where the people on the East Coast were probably like, what was that weird jump there? And they would have said to their friends, oh, J-Lo fell on her ass. Like, she didn't fall on her ass here. So, of course, it goes online. It becomes a massive viral YouTube thing. Yeah. Like, millions of people are like, I've got to see the video where J-Lo falls over.
Yes,
it's not even a bad moment.
Oh, my God.
Like,
we were talking about it before.
So quickly.
So well. Like,
yeah. And... But
I wish I could recover that well from anything.
Yes.
From a Tuesday.
I know. We should recover from a hangover like that. But the reporting from that time was so much focused on her falling down that no one really knew anything about the song or cared about it.
Yeah.
And then
no one knew how to say it either.
Or Louboutins. Yeah. Apparently, the shoe designer that she's singing about was, rapt that she got his name pronunciation right.
Oh, good.
Even though it meant she was not rhyming with the lyric that came before it that it's meant to rhyme with.
Oh, what's the lyric? I don't remember now.
It's like, I'm putting on my Louboutins, like Louboutins, but she she pronounces it correctly, so she kind of mangles she mangles the rhyme.
Actually see what it is.
To say the name properly.
Oh, moving on. I'm throwing on my Louboutins. Yeah.
It's funny. Also here, I'm having a conspiracy corner.
A low spiracy.
A low spiracy. I love a low spiracy. So the live performance of this song, despite being about $2,500 shoes, was boxing themed. She was wearing boxing shorts, like everyone's in a boxing ring and they're dancing around and fighting. Not long after this, Mariah Carey does Triumphant, which actually has some lyrics about being knocked out. So, you can understand why it's in a boxing ring.
And falling on your arms.
Neither of those songs made it onto the albums that they were meant to be the premiere song for. There's no conspiracy. It's just like, why? Why do people not want women to be in a boxing ring?
I know. And there's something about this time in music as well where both Mariah and J-Lo, and I'm sure other artists as well.
Yeah.
Like Kylie, you're also old now. Like nothing was hitting because, these are artists from early 90s, late 80s, and then much later, came to singing later, and like you said, streaming's happening, but they've not quite jumped on that yet.
Yeah.
And so it was just a messy time in music. There was a lot of this going on.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not surprised about the East Coast thing. I think that was pretty common practice, to be honest. But you always, as the internet came in, people were like, oh, there's no point. We already know. Yeah. It's already been on the news here. Like,
yeah, it's on the news. Why would you
editing out this Will Smith slap? It'd be like, what slap? You know, like,
Yeah.
of course they would have done that 20 years ago, and maybe people on the other side wouldn't have known about it.
Yeah, it would
or
have
at least
become
not
like
as
a little chatting thing.
Exactly.
But instead, it's like everyone watched it in Australia and put it up on the internet.
Yeah, but you watch it, you like watching it now. Like when I went into it, it's the same as Britney's 2007 like "Give Me More" performance.
Yeah,
it's not as bad as you remember. Like,
no.
And so watching that moment, I was like, damn, like that's a fall. Like, okay, yeah. So I was impressed more than anything.
It was quite a recovery. So, look, the song is great. It's kind.
I was not prepared for that.
Pop that gets in your head and makes you want to dance. I don't think it's the Dream's best work. Mm-hmm. I mean, you know, it's certainly not Obsessed. Which was out in the world at this time.
Sure.
As produced by him. And I don't know if you know this, but it was a Brandy song.
Really?
It was offered to Brandy, and she apparently maybe recorded it, and then the record company took it off her. And she has been on the record saying, I did once record a song called
couldn't afford the Louboutins. Just give it to someone who can get them.
No, she was moved on from Epic Records at the time. And weirdly, so the same thing happens to J-Lo not long after this. She gets moved on from Columbia, from Sony, and ends up at Island Def Jam, which is, you know, where someone else is that she's...
Yeah, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, so one of the reasons this probably didn't turn up on that next album is because it was with another record company. So the Love ? Album was with a different record label, so she couldn't bring over what was meant to be the lead single. And poor Brandy got shafted out of this song because she's been moved on to another record label. And they're like, oh no, this is our song. This is our Dream and Tricky song, and you're not having it.
See, it's interesting because this might be the first time in her whole career where I would say, you know what? She's the exact person who should be singing this song.
Yes.
Like, I want J-Lo to sing songs about how great her shoes are. Like, yes. That's what I want. Like, I remember when I did, because I remember the performance and then I never heard the song because obviously they stopped when she changed and blah, blah. So probably after On the Floor and that kind of resurgence, this must have come up somewhere on Shuffle. And I remember going, oh, like this is like finding a fun gem. I was like, it's not the best song ever, but it's fun. It's camp. I'd heard of it, and I think I'd heard it maybe once or twice. I think, you know, this would have been when I was deep in radio. So Sony were probably trying to flog it to us before they decided they didn't want her anymore and they got rid of it. But yeah, I remember, like, I don't remember loving this at the time, but I really enjoyed it. And I thoroughly enjoyed the produced version. I did not love the stage version. I found that a bit frantic. Whereas the actual produced song is, it's like I said, it's not the Dream's best work. It's not Single Ladies. But it's got a fun hook. Jen is managing the vocals. Like they're not beyond her. Yeah. And it's aggressive in a way that doesn't feel abusive. Like a lot of the album.
Also, maybe that's the other thing, because we've just listened to all of these songs in the album that she's not keeping up with, that are not quite as fun and poppy as they think they are. Yeah. And this is a fun pop song. Yeah. Like this is, you know. And again, like Obsessed was out at the time, which is an amazing song and fun, and, you know, it's Mariah doing auto-tune, whereas here, don't even need it.
No, I know, surprising.
Yeah.
She must have been like, oh, Mariah's coming from a gig. I'm going to sing this next song. I've got to do a 180 and I'm going to sing it.
I'm going to sing it. And I'm going to dance the fuck out of it.
And I actually really like the chorus is just a really driving, I'm throwing on my Louboutins. That's all. And I'm like, kind of works. It's got that.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, I am throwing on my Louboutins, J-Lo. I really am.
Yeah.
This is why Brave couldn't work, because it wasn't about shoes.
Yes.
It
And
needed
that's
to
why
be about fashion.
weird that I've enjoyed 2 shoe songs on this album. I've been all over the
This
shoes.
is definitely my favorite of the 2 shoe-related songs of this year.
But
I think I wrote here, she delivers it with a passion that I'd expect her to have for foot decor.
Yeah. But then this song just got was disappeared because it didn't really get any traction. Like it didn't turn into anything. It was, very this album, there's a single cover art and stuff, but it just. And I'm also going to throw in that it was. Things go missing. This was that weird in between before Love, and Brave. She just had babies. She'd gone away for a bit. It was just almost like, I'm going to make her have a comeback, but oh no. It was an odd time just for her in her career and her life, I think. So, and I think you're right. I think it was a difficult time for women of a certain age that had aged out of, pop music. Well, I mean, even at the moment, it took a good month and a half for the main radio station, Radio 1 in England, to play Padum Padum, which is everywhere. What are you doing? She got top 10 with it and they still wouldn't play it. And it's like, why? Oh, because it's Kylie. Yeah, pretty much. And it's like, well, she's old. Yeah, but she's in her 50s. We don't play 50-year-old women. Well, they had to in the end because she just kept going up the charts. It's like, no, we got to play this old lady song. So, what percentage of the Louboutins do you think she is getting her tonsils around? I thought this was pretty high, actually. I went for an 85%. Yeah, a little bit fairly high. Sure. Low. Yeah. And are you pro low or no low? I am pro low. I'm very much pro low. I'm DP of pro low. DP of pro low. I really enjoyed the shoe song. This is a good shoe song. It's a good shoe song. It might be my favorite shoe song. I can't think of any other good shoe songs. All right, we've got one more bonus track, and then we are done with all of this J-Lo-ness, which has been going on forever. 87 weeks. Yeah. This is Fresh Out the Oven with Pitbull. Our first Pitbull. Written by Amanda Ghost and Jennifer Lopez, Armando Perez, and Pharrell Williams. And produced by the Neptunes. That kind of makes sense now that I think about it as to how I felt about it. So this was a single that did almost nothing, but it was number 1 on the Billboard Hot Dance Club Songs chart, which has not been a thing for the last few years. After this song. They stopped measuring them in about 2020. It ran from about 76 to 2020, that chart. Oh. It was basically a measure of what people were playing in clubs. There were a bunch of DJs who were surveyed and what songs they were playing the most. And who was paying these DJs to play this song? I don't know, but that was how that chart worked, and it got to number 1 on that chart. Wow. It did get onto an airplay chart, as in being played on the radio. It hit number 103 in Russia. That's as far as this song went anywhere. That was the peak. But there is a video. Oh, there is too. Okay, fuck. The Fab Nopsis. We've got Pitbull for this Fab Nopsis, and it's in the oven. Put it in for a bit longer. Jen has lips. We see them a lot. Mm-hmm. She does. Pitbull puts on jewelry. Jen has shoes. Oh, they're Louboutins. Oh, good girl, good girl. They've got the red sole and everything. She's got a slutty Christine Lahti Lifetime movie haircut. I don't know what's going on there. We love that. She dances in a doorway and crawls on a bed. She does a rap about cookies. And then Pitbull turns up with a haunted sheet. Oh, no. Is this her boyfriend from the Brave video coming back to try and finger her? That's Amanda Ghost. That's Amanda Ghost. That sounds like a drag name, doesn't it? It does. For Amanda Ghost. Then she puts on a cat suit, rolls her on the floor, picking up dust and singing backwards like she's in Twin Peaks. Oh, that's the end. Okay. They cut and pasted a lot of that video. I just repeated it. I think that production was shut down halfway through. I don't know what's going on with this song. And Pitbull, I don't think really helps matters either. Like, he's not really doing anything.
No, which is shocking because we know that they have some hits to come.
Yeah.
They work well together, but this ain't it.
This is not there.
Which makes me wonder how those next ones happened after this.
I think maybe they just got along well.
Maybe. Yeah.
Someone went, oh, their voices sound almost, like they match. And also Ja Rule's very problematic jail-wise. So
true.
Who's the nearest thing we can find to Ja Rule? It's Pitbull. Yeah. That kind of deep, gruff, rappy sort of sound. So, yeah.
There is no hook on this song at all. No. I'm like, I wrote that it's not unbearable, but it's also nothing.
Yeah.
I said, put it back in. It's going to need another 20 minutes.
Yeah. I said, this is a nothing song about nothing and Pitbull. What a piece of shit. And the Neptunes, Pharrell cashing a check for doing fuck all. What is going on here?
This is the thing. I have this issue with the Neptunes. They can do brilliant stuff, and then they do this. And it makes me wonder, are they doing brilliant stuff? Because they wrote with Gwen, they wrote Hella Good, which is a great song, and nothing like anything else that they've done. And I'm like, but were they great?
Is a great song.
Yeah, but I was like, were they great, or was everyone else that they were working with great and they just got lucky?
I don't know. I think that the songs they do on that Justin Timberlake album, his first album, are amazing. Yeah. And there are some really shit filler songs on that album as well. Yeah. And apparently they wrote that for Michael Jackson.
I mean, they did some good songs for Britney. Like, they've got some good stuff. But I think then Pharrell just kind of forgets to show up one day. Like, he'll have a song like Happy, which is this huge hit, and then he'll be like, for the next 3 songs, I'm just not going to do anything. Yeah. I don't understand.
Cashing a check here. It's like, we've got J-Lo, we've got Pitbull. He's like, yeah, I don't like either of them. I'm not going to really make an effort.
Yeah.
I'm Camp Mariah, so I'm going to turn up and ruin her song by not doing anything. I don't know. He's very attractive. I can't really hold anything against him. I'd like to hold some things against him, but I can't really hold anything against him.
Would you spit in his hole or his soul? Which one? Pick.
Both.
And is the soul, is it a Louboutin soul?
I'd give him a DP of spit.
Triple DP.
Triple DP.
I'm sick. There's a lot to get out of me.
There's a lot. Yeah, I'm full of phlegm. So I'm real. What percentage of the song do you think she sang?
I still thought this was high-low.
Oh, yeah, that cookie rap is all her. Cookie rap? What the fuck is that?
Cookie rap. This should have been her on Sesame Street with the Cookie Monster.
You know what? Like, she just made me... Like, when I heard the cookie rap, I was just like, I've got to hear Prisoner again now.
Invented rap.
So yeah, I feel like it's a fairly high-low song.
Yeah,
like definitely. Are you pro low or no low?
I'm absolutely not low.
Not low. Absolutely not. No low. No.
There's just no need for it. No one. I don't care.
Why does it have a video? Like, it's like,
right?
Did you hear this song? Did you realize nothing happens in this song?
And it's an incomplete video.
Yeah, nothing happens in the video either.
Yeah.
Like, Pitbull just looks like he's being swamped with women. And it's the same 3 shots of him being swamped with women. And you're like, is that a different shot? No, that's the same shot again. Yeah. Yeah, it's terrible. The only redeeming feature of this song in any way, shape or form is the fact that she's wearing Lifetime Movie of the Week, Christine Luddy hair.
Yes. I appreciated a different look.
Yeah.
Always fun.
It was great. It's a fun blonde shag and I loved it.
And a red lip.
Yeah. Well, we have gotten to the end. We have finished all the songs. What are your thoughts on the album overall?
So I actually wrote my thoughts almost like a review. I don't know why. I'd never done that before. Yeah, so I'm just going to read the whole chunk if you don't mind. I said, this album is pretty much what I expected based on the almost non-existent market left on the pop landscape. But it did deliver something interesting. It's a J-Lo album with no hits, no features, and yet no horrific missteps. The biggest problem here is the production. Everything sounds so lo-fi, muddled, and clunky. Very digital sounds of the time, which have not aged well, and the auto-tune is starting to show. It's not explicit, but when it shows up, it ain't subtle.
No.
I would be curious to hear these songs remastered with today's technology, as I think the production did limit a few of the tracks, which is essentially what we said. It's insanely regular, but in an appropriate way. People aren't sending her their best songs anymore, nor are any boyfriends involved shoving her outside of her range. So it's perfectly regular songs for her regular abilities, and therefore comes across as her most consistent album so far. You won't actually remember any of the songs you've just listened to, which isn't a compliment nor an insult. It'll never rise above being regular, but it knows it. It's the backup plan of albums. The guy that you know is perfectly nice and looks good on paper, but just doesn't make your giblets tingle. If you're still single at 45, maybe you'll give him another date. But for now, you'll keep searching and hope that On the Floor is just around the corner. I said it wasn't all that, but it wasn't exhausting.
Yeah. I have also got a review, but mine is much more succinct. This is forgettable pop nonsense. I love pop music, but this kind of grasping manufactured trash to bolster the career of an actress between movies is what gives pop music a bad name, and I'm very angry at it. Jamiroquai and Sade should feel insulted by their comparisons to this piece of shit.
I just love her. I love the delusion that Sade. I can understand Jamiroquai in terms of J-Lo being a pop dance artist. Yeah, I can imagine her going, "Oh yeah,
sing." Have you seen him live?
I can imagine her
note perfect.
I can imagine her like feeling a vibe of that to some point. But Sade. Okay,
but they can both sing. They can both sing really well. And he, sure, he's improvising dancing, and she has great big structured choreography, but still, like what even? It felt like the first time in her career, and I guess getting this far into a career before this happens, but it just did feel like here's an album of songs for an actor who thinks they're going to have a music career.
And that's why I said, like, no one's sending...
This is a Misha Barton album.
Oh, my God. Can't wait for it to be on Neighbours.
I know, it's so exciting. But, yeah, it's not... Yeah, I was insulted by it. As a fan of good pop music, as a fan of your Max Martins and your Britney Spearses, I thought this was very subpar. Yeah. So if you can stand it, do you have a favourite song?
Well, I'd probably say of all the ones, probably Louboutins. But if the songs on the actual album, probably the two singles, Hold It, Don't Drop It, or Do It Well, were the best of the bunch.
Yeah, I'm from the album Mile in These Shoes, which I know you were surprised that I enjoyed, so but I did. But overall, Louboutins is by far the superior song to anything on the album, but it's not on the album. And do you have a least favourite song?
I think it's The Way It Is. Mm-hmm. I don't remember it at all. Like, again, there was nothing on this album that I was like, yuck, like this is not hideous.
Yeah.
But there was just a lot of
yeah. I couldn't choose one. Because it's so many half-assed afterthought songs. I think Brave is irredeemable. And also it's the title track, and it seems to sum up how I feel about the album.
It's one of the few ones that I liked.
I know. But also Fresh Out of the Oven is an irredeemable piece of shit.
Yeah, what is that?
But yeah, it's not on the album, so I have to choose Brave. So do we know her?
Like, woo, Brave.
Like, Pro Low or No Low for the whole album?
So I wrote this as well. So I said, like all the other ones, I'm pretty much sticking it straight in awe. But, and that's the thing, like every single one of her albums, it's almost infuriating because it's like there's all the other ones, I would say there's probably some real highlights and then a bunch of like okay ones and then some really bad ones. This is all just in that middle part. But what I said was, if this one, like if I was in Prolo Land and I saw all those regular siblings, you know, the regular family, and this sibling just needed a minute because all of her other siblings are fucking annoying.
Yeah.
Like, even if they're like, you know, it'd be like having one of the siblings is like really talented. That's Let's Get Loud, and you're like, oh yeah, Let's Get Loud's really great, but it has all those annoying quirks about it, like Dear Ben or whatever. You know, like I feel like this is the album that I'm like, you know what? If it's sitting on the little tire swing that I've got on the edge of my property, and because it just needs 5 minutes to get away from the others, I'm not going to bother it. You know, I'll let it stay because it's inoffensive. All right, you can sit there for a minute.
But it's inoffensive. Like which I find offensive because pop music can be so much better than that. Like, you know, look at Kylie. Kylie makes amazing pop music.
Yeah.
Like she would send this shit back. She would have.
Oh God, yeah.
Like
none of this.
And she's not a really strong singer, but she, you know,
knows
can sing what she can sing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm a definite big fat no.
Please don't. No. Please no.
And have you renamed the album?
I did, and there was really no other name that I could think of for this because I said it 20 times. Generic but inoffensive. The name of this album.
Well, I figure the album title has 5 letters starting with B, and I thought I don't want to change the artwork too much because I actually think it's a beautiful cover art. Like I think this is bland. Because I really like the cover. Like that's I think that's the best thing about it. It's a good looking album.
Yeah, she has some great looking albums. I will say that.
She gives good photo. She does. But well, that brings us to the end of Brave.
Oh my God! Does that mean we can exit? We can exit the Regularverse.
Finally, leave the Regularverse after all this time.
Get the fuck out of our podcast.
Get the fuck out.
Get the fuck out of our podcast.
Get the fuck out.
Just walk away.
Walk away.
You tacky regular bitch.
Regular.
Get the fuck right out of my face.
Regular bitch. Oh, we are finally out of the Regularverse.
Oh, I can breathe again.
I know. It's been hard.
I got all out of sync because of Jen not keeping up.
I know. I did like that at the end we finally synced on enjoying and not enjoying a song.
The last, and I have to say after, you know, as you say, when you're on YouTube, it recommends other things. Just after the last song, it recommended that great J-Lo Mark Anthony song. From the last one. So I was like, oh, good. I'm glad we came out of this with something.
Yeah.
Because it's so depressing when you don't. And so it makes you feel like, oh, no, it was worth it. We did it.
Yeah. Yeah.
We did it, Jen.
Jen, we like your Louboutins. Don't tell Mariah. And don't tell Mariah that you worked with The Dream because she'll probably be... Maybe that's why he didn't come back for another album.
Probably.
Like, he was...
How annoying, though. Like, would it be to have someone... That's why I always think it's so funny with the Power of Three. How all of them don't seem to like Alyssa, but they have to put up with her in every photo they sign. And everyone's always asking questions about her. And I think that's hilarious. But you do wonder, poor Mariah, it's just like, I just went to Island Def Jam to get away. And here she is.
She's turned up.
And Jen thinks she likes her. She's like, we know each other, Mariah.
Yeah. I
came
sing
here
a
for you.
Christmas song every year. My kids love it.
Yeah, we both have twins.
Twins. All right. Well, next week, we are doing another compilation album, another made-up favorites. I'm going to make you listen to more remixes.
More. Well, because last time we did the
remixes.
dance. Yeah, Mariah remixes. Because we did the dance ones.
Yes.
There's a whole bunch of non-dance remixes that I have not
they're still dancey,
to.
but they're not hardcore house. Like, you know, a lot of Mariah dance mixes are kind of like handbag house, but we've got some urban remixes. We've got some... You know, remixes that are still a ballad, like a ballad that gets turned into a different bit of a ballad. Like, you know, I don't know if you know this, but there's more than one version of We Belong Together. And
yes,
it's amazing. So we'll be getting a bit of that. More remixes next week. My favorite remixes. And I'm curating a playlist for you.
I wonder if I'll be pro-lo or no-lo.
You can only be no-lo when it comes to Mariah because you're pro-Mariah. which
Right.
means no low.
That's very confusing. I'm still upside down and all rattled from the regularity.
Yeah, no. You get to be in. You get to give things infinity or 5 out of 5.
that's
They're the
right.
2 scores.
or my lowest score, 4.5. Or my highest score, 4.5.
Yeah, that's how it goes in Mariah Land. We don't do pro low or no low anymore.
Right.
And certainly we
So
won't be going
brainwashed.
to Sade or Jamiroquai Land.
Oh my God.
I still can't get over she thought that album was
Bless
about
her.
those two.
The drag delusion is strong in that one.
Oh my God, yeah, fuck. All right, we'll see you next week back in the Mariah-verse. Bye, Lamely.
Bye, Natalie.
Me.